Thanks for having me again. Listen, I want to start this off by saying I am very happy I chose second intermission over first intermission.
It was a tough chat with Diener HD in the first intermission with me and Dusty, but we got through it and we got a reward after. I guess they might be watching on their iPads and saw that we were pretty upset with them.
Yeah, maybe. But now it's all smiles. Now we're all good.
Have you got any idea what the actual line structure is right now? Because I feel like every time Foote puts another line over the boards in that period and in the first, it seems like it's a different line.
It is quite interesting. There's like some sort of structure, sort of, but also like sometimes one guy will go out and it'll be completely different. Like Pedersen taking Ratu's spot that one time. Sasson and Besser were on the ice at the same time at the end there. Whatever it is, we've scored 4 goals, so I'm not complaining, but it is kind of tough to predict.
So in that intermission, is it just like we would picture it? Like, is Quinn Hughes in the locker room just like peeling the paint off, or like what do you think was said during that second or that first intermission?
Uh, Honestly, I think, guys, what is happening? What the hell is going on? If we lose this, we're 1-3, and that is not a fun hole to dig yourselves out of. Lock in, whatever it was. I mean, I would love to hear what it was because I mean, they were playing decently at the end of the first. They were getting some more chances. They were getting shots on net. They were no longer getting outshot like 12-2, and that kind of carried over. So that was good. It was probably just a, play how you did at the end of the first, and the goals will come. And I mean, the goals really started pouring in there.
Isn't it like, and looking back, because Cotton Garland had those two crazy chances pretty much on the goal line. And then a Dallas player is just like, here, man, I feel bad for you. You got robbed there twice. Have the puck and score that goal because Connor Garland was flying, and I think he absolutely deserved to score that unassisted goal. Eh?
I feel like there are a lot of games where Connor Garland will just be all over the ice, and he comes so close to scoring, and he just doesn't quite make it. And you're thinking, there's no way he's ending this game without a goal. So yeah, he got the beautiful pass from the Stars player, and then Petrovic and DeSmith decided they have no idea where Connor Garland is going with this puck. Their jock straps are gone, far gone. Yeah, Garland's been great. He's been flying out there. That is the kind of energy we need, and he definitely deserved that goal after the couple chances he had.
Well, it makes you wonder if a couple of these Dallas players who did play for the Texas Stars last year against the Abby Canucks, Petrovic and Rikovian, is I pretty sure how you say it. It's a mouthful. Maybe
It
a
is.
little bit of PTSD with the Abby line getting put back together.
Yeah, especially with Sasson scoring on that breakaway there. Beautiful feed by Tyler Myers, by the way. I mean, he definitely has that in him, but we don't see it a crazy amount. What a pass, and Sasson right on the tape, and those guys from the Texas Stars are looking and thinking, oh man, I've seen this one before. I was really excited to see that Abbotsford line get put together. That was something where in the off season or even in training camp, I was thinking like this line has so much chemistry. They look so good, even if the success in the AHL might not translate to the NHL. I'm sure the chem is there, and the chem is really there. They've had some good shifts, and yeah, it's really got to be giving them Texas Stars the PTSD because, wow.
Well, it's kind of funny, right? Because you look back at the Dallas game last year between these two teams, and the Canucks obviously came back being down 3 goals in the last like minute or whatever it was, and then again here we see the Dallas Stars absolutely crumbling in on themselves, giving up 4 goals in that second period. Is it sometimes just that kind of thing between two different teams? Like maybe Dallas is just like overconfident and they kind of like hold back. But what can really explain a team just collapsing now 2 games in a row to the Vancouver Canucks?
Well, I don't want to, single anyone out here, but I don't know if we're winning 4-2 right now if Jake Ottinger is in their net. Casey DeSmith also played that other game and choked that one, and now we have 4 goals on him this time. And if we hold on and win this one, which I'm hoping we do, I'm hoping next time we play against Dallas, they're wise enough to put in Otter. I'm sick of the disrespect. Stop giving us DeSmith. We are killing him. It's like when the other team starts their backup goalie against you, you have to have a chip on your shoulder about it. You can't be happy about that, and they do not look happy about that. So thank you to Canucks legend Casey DeSmith for letting our offense do stuff a couple
We
times now.
you sometimes see that. Like, I mean, there are the odd backup goalie or whatever former teammates that do end up looking better against their former team. But Casey Smith just seems like he's helping us with an inside job here, so we'll take it as he
Yeah, it's
is
kind of nice. It's
Canucks
like
legend.
it's the way Vander Kane looked against Edmonton a couple times in that game too. You got to think. I mean, another one was Nate Schmidt coming over from Vegas, playing terrible for us, and then immediately leaving and being good again. Like that was an inside job. That has to be.
Well, I'm working on a spreadsheet right now, and it is because we did this in the playoffs last year. Where we essentially, because the Canucks didn't make the playoffs, so I literally made a spreadsheet of every former Canuck that was playing in the playoffs at the time, and it was a little depressing, but it was also funny. So I'm now currently working on the same thing as a regular season thing. It's going to be much longer because there is a lot of former Canucks. It seems to be a conveyor belt of players coming through. Is there any former players from this Canucks roster that you miss more than any of the other ones?
Well, the answer to that will forever be Andrei Kuzmenko. I'm always going to be an Andrei Kuzmenko fan. And I mean, we lost Pius Suter and I was sad about that. But even now, like, I'm not following Pius Suter that close. Bo Horvat went to the island and I don't really want to watch Islanders games. So I've kind of lost touch with him. JT Miller is JT Miller. But Andrei Kuzmenko, I will always watch him no matter where he is. Even when he was in Philadelphia, I was still suffering through those games. Now he's in LA and it's a lot more fun. So Kuzmenko is definitely the guy for me. But Dakota Joshua too. I mean, I already liked watching Leafs games before. I watched a lot of Leafs games every year. So now to have a guy that I really, really like on that team, that's quite nice. And I mean, I feel like he still had a role on this team. I feel like we didn't really need to get rid of him. I'm just happy he went to a contender, a good team. We're going to see playoff Dakota Joshua again, and I like that because he deserves that. So Joshua and Kuzmenko for me are the two guys that I will be following the most in terms of former Canucks this year.
I don't know if you saw it. It was a bit of a minor move, but the Montreal Canadiens tried to send Sammy Blais down about a week ago. The Toronto Maple Leafs actually ended up picking him up. He hasn't played a game yet, but that does mean there is potential. You could see Sammy Blais and Dakota Joshua playing on the wings for someone in Toronto, which I think as a Canucks fan, I would have a hard time watching that because with what Sammy Blais did for the Abbey Canucks last year, I was really hoping we could find a roster spot for him, but sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, I was too stacked. I really hope he does find an NHL role because he deserves one. I mean, that playoff run, the fact that he had like over 60 penalty minutes and was still almost point per game during that run, like that is exactly what you need in a playoff performer. The Abbotsford Canucks do not win without Sammy Blais. I'm hoping he can get onto that Toronto team at some point. I'm surprised we never had him in the NHL last year, honestly.
But
But
they
yeah,
had him
if
signed as just an AHL deal. So it was a strictly AHL deal for him last year. That's why he never ended up getting the call up.
I wouldn't have minded, upgrading him mid-season or something. There were times where we could have used that grit that Sammy Blais adds. I wouldn't have minded it. Whoever would get to center Dakota Joshua and Sammy Blais would have to feel so comfortable and safe in between them because they will kill anyone who tries to touch them.
Yeah, true. So if you're going to give a letter grade out to Adam Foote through his first 3 2/3 of a game as head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, what letter grade are you giving out to Adam Foote so far?
Man, it's so tough to do it this early because they looked so good in that Calgary game, and then the two games before this one were terrible, and then this one has been good. I would say we'll give him a B minus, kind of teetering on the edge of C plus, because those past two games were really bad. He didn't get enough energy in the locker room. I mean, the third period against Edmonton, they were kind of turning it on a bit. St. Louis game was just horrible. I do really like what he did with the lines for this game. I looked on Twitter and so many people were so angry about the line tweaks, but I don't get it. Like, yeah, sure, Drew O'Connor on the first line. Yeah, maybe that's weird and all, but he's fast. He's a good forechecker. That's kind of a good guy for Pedersen to have. He has chemistry with Garland. It makes sense. Hedel centering DeBrusque and Besser, it makes sense. Sherwood and Kane on the same line is terrifying for the other team, and Ratu also is a pretty physical guy now. I like that. And then obviously the Abbey line. Like I like what he did with these lines, and so far it's working. So that grade can easily go up if this persists throughout that second period. I mean, A plus for him in that second period. But I don't mind him so far. I was worried he'd be Tocchet 2.0, and Edmonton and St. Louis games, it looked like that. but I think he's different. I think he's different, and so far I think he's doing fine.
Yeah. I think once they can get the systems into their brains and not have to think about what they're doing, and that's part of the big problem, right? New coach, new systems, and not a full overhaul of the systems. But yeah, it might take this team a little while to start doing things with muscle memory rather than having to think about everything they have to do out there. So I'm not too worried yet.
It is early. That's the
Yeah.
thing I have to keep repeating to myself is that even though some of those past two games looked very much like last year's Canucks, and that's worrying, it's early and there's always time to make it better. They at least don't hate each other so far this year, so that's good.
So Chad was talking earlier because they all know now that Nucko has officially entered the YouTube space. You started your first, I guess your official Nucko channel, because I know you were still doing the Pacific Perspective podcast on Mimamoto's channel, but now that has been transferred over to Nucko. How have you been finding doing the YouTube thing so far this season?
So far, I mean, it's been fun. I've done the 3 reaction videos and they've gotten good responses. They've been fun to make. I'm a really big fan of yapping, and I can't exactly bother the people I know in real life with 12 straight minutes of talking about what happened in one Canucks game. But I can bother the people online because they get to choose to watch it, and I love it. I always make sure to record right after the game ends because that's when my emotions are running the highest over the game. And I think it's been fun. I mean, the editing sucks. I really hate editing. It's terrible, but it's worth it. It's been fun. It was the right next step for me to make if I want to continue creating content. I wanted to do YouTube for a while and it made sense. I think I understand it well enough. Even if Instagram is always my number one, I think I understand YouTube well enough and I think it's fun. And it has been fun. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm happy to join you on this platform.
Yeah, yeah. So if you haven't yet, there is a link in the description of today's stream. So make sure you go give Nucko a like and a subscribe. He is going to be posting, like you said, I think you're saying you're going to be doing post game reactions. And then what else is, like I said, the Pacific Perspectives podcast. It's going to be posted on there now.
Yep, and then I have a friend who knows a lot about hockey who's also making a video for me every week. And then if anything else sparks interest in me in the hockey sphere, I'll make another video. I mean, I don't want to plan out everything. Sometimes something random will happen, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I want to talk about that." So, yeah, but it's mainly the Canucks reactions, and the podcast is now on there too. Um, I am trying to keep it a little bit organized.
So before I let you go, I wanted to get your reaction as well. Obviously, Braden Coots, 15th overall draft pick for the Canucks this last draft, does end up getting sent down. Are you thinking that was the right choice for his development moving forward?
I think there was no way he was going to play this full season with the Canucks. I'm surprised it was this early, but I also kind of like the fact it was this early because he wasn't quite cutting it on the ice in those first couple games, and it's understandable. I mean, he's 18. I don't hold it against him, but the fact he got sent down this early means that the management and the coaching staff are prioritizing winning these games now and doing what's best for the team right now and doing what's best for Coots, which is going back to Seattle. And he understands that too. Coots said that, he's okay with it. He gets it's best for him. He can go down there, put up 100 points, and then come back next year, next training camp, more prepared. Clearly, so far, it's been the right move. And I mean, the guy replacing him in the lineup is Max Sasson, and it's gone quite well so far. So I'm okay with it. I was surprised it was this early, but I get it. I think it's the right move.
I think it's one of those things. What was he getting, like maybe 9-10 minutes a game? And for a guy that young, the development needs to be happening at that young age. And he's going to get 25 minutes a night down there in Seattle. And with how bad Seattle is too, there is a good chance he might end up getting traded to a contender and maybe get a little of experience in the Memorial Cup, but who knows?
Yeah, I do think it's definitely best for him right now to go down and dominate. But I like that he got those 3 games. He dipped his toes in the water of NHL hockey. He knows what it's like now, and he can come back next year with that knowledge and with more confidence, more development. I like it.
Yeah. Do you think he has a chance to make the World Juniors? Because from what I'm hearing, the Team Canada is supposed to be absolutely stacked down the middle. Is it worth for development, even if he makes it as a winger?
I honestly just want a Canuck to root for on Team Canada. I mean, last year we had Minio. He didn't play a whole lot. I think it's worth it because you're still playing against the best of that age group and a lot of future NHL players. So I think it would be worth it even as a winger. And his sense is good enough where he can still take over as a center. I would like to see him make it, but with some of the decisions Team Canada has made with their rosters in past years, they might do some random stuff that makes no sense. So it's kind of hard to predict exactly what that roster is going to end up being. I mean, some of the things last year, some of the snubs, pretty crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild stuff. Well, Nucko, I appreciate you very much for coming on. Everyone was very excited to see you today. So keep up the good work on your YouTube channel and everything you're doing on Instagram. I absolutely follow. And I wanted to tell you, my nephew William lives in Australia. And every time I go on Instagram, every single one of your posts, he's got a like on that. So do you mind giving a shout out to my nephew William?
Thank you, William. You are the GOAT. Please keep liking my posts. I love it.
Awesome. Thanks, my dude. We'll chat again sometime soon. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me. And go Canucks. Let's close this out.
Nothing is perfect.